I was doing my usual Cook's River loop this week, and just as I was about to take the turn towards Rookwood, I spotted an old bloke pottering down Barker Road on a gopher at about 10 kilometres an hour. I was curious about what he was doing, so I stopped for a minute to see where he went. Sure enough, he continued on down Barker Road using the parking lane. Given how slowly he was moving, I thought it would make more sense for him to use the footpath, so I rode down Barker Road on the road, did a U-turn, and rode back up the footpath on the northern side. It very quickly became apparent to me why he was using the road instead of the footpath. Most of the footpath is in terrible condition, and I bumped and bashed my way along it, thinking he was a lot smarter than he looked. A lot of houses have fences that completely block the sight lines of people exiting the driveways, creating a risk that someone will reverse over you in a four-wheel drive as you trundle past their house. One section of the footpath has been renewed, but in order for that to have happened, it must have been in an atrocious state. If I was in his position, I'd be using the road too. Now, some people might say he's being silly and he should use a council bus service instead of venturing out on his own. Well, what if the bus service runs at inconvenient times? What if he doesn't want to phone the council and book a pickup to take him to the shops and then hanging around for goodness knows how long for the bus to arrive? If he does take the bus, how does he get around the shops when he gets there? With his gopher, he can drive around the supermarket aisles if need be collecting his shopping. Maybe all he wants is a bottle of milk for a cup of tea, and he doesn't want to wait 2 hours for a council service, have to hobble painfully around the shop after he's been dropped off, then ring council to book a return trip, and sit there on a bench waiting for 2 hours for the bus to come back whilst wondering where the nearest toilet is located. Maybe the bus service has gone to hell recently because the drivers are stuck at home in isolation, and there isn't anyone who can bus the elderly around. We just don't know. And look, it's really not our place to say, he should do this and he should do that, because how he organises his life is his business, and everyone's needs are different. The last thing the elderly need is patronising people wanting to tell them how to live out the remainder of their days. What we should be doing instead is enabling people who are old or have mobility problems to be able to get around safely on their own without someone having to pick them up and drive them somewhere and then pick them up and drive them home. I do wonder if the social isolation that a lot of people have experienced over the last 2 years has finally made councils aware of the detrimental impact on people of any age being stuck in their homes with no means of getting out and about to do stuff and see other people. I hope so. For years, councils have directed a large amount of their budgets at repairing roads and a miserly amount at building and repairing footpaths. For elderly people who have given up driving, that's essentially a sentence to home detention for the rest of your life. That's a flippin' awful way to treat the elderly. Anyway, all power to this old bloke on his gopher. I just hope he doesn't get hit by some idiot who is trying to drive and TikTok at the same time.